we lead up to that first serve around 20-25 minutes away. All right here on KDSJ 980, 103.5, and with the KDSJ-TV. Dixon Sports Medicine broadcast booth as we get set for the Spearfish Spartans and the Sturgis Scoopers in our matchup tonight. And we'll start first of all with the Sturgis Scoopers. They come in with a record of 3-9 on the season, 3-2 in the Black Hills Conference. And last year's Scooper volleyball squad featured 7 seniors, but had a bunch of sophomores and juniors who made up the core of the team that went 6-24 a year ago. And this year's squad, which has 3 returning seniors, will help lead the squad here for the second half of the season. Coach Lewis said that this year's Scooper team plays with a ton of positive energy, and she plans on taking advantage of a group of hard-hitting young ladies with some size now for the Scoopers. They have more hitters that are really good options for them on offense. And the 3 seniors, Hayden Larson, McKenna LeBeau, and Ellie Storm, will be providing the leadership to a group of juniors and sophomores that show a ton of promise, according to head coach Timmy Lewis. As you had a chance to catch up with her earlier today, what are some other thoughts that you got from the young head coach of the Sturgis Scoopers?
I think she's pretty confident in her squad. She feels like this is some of the best Scooper squad that she's had in a while here in Sturgis. She has a lot of athleticism, a lot of height, and just a lot of experience overall returning this year. Of course, it starts in the middle, and if you have the last name of Leem, I'm pretty sure it is a requirement. You must be 6'2" or taller here in Sturgis. 2 of them on this year's squad. Of course, we all know about Olivia Vleem, the 6'2" middle hitter for the Sturgis Scoopers. She's having more of an opportunity to be in more rotations, and the Scoopers have had to rely on her a lot this season. Why is she in more rotations, you ask? Well, that's because her little sister, Madeline Vleem, has stepped up in a big way. Only a freshman and is still 6'2". I swear, it has to be a requirement. You have to be 6'2" in order to be a Vleem in Sturgis. She's emerged as one of the main defenders for the Scoopers, leads the team in blocks coming into this contest with 26. She rotates with her sister in the middle. She also helps puts up that ginormous wall that Sturgis has on their team this year. And she's emerged, again, only a freshman. She was moved up to varsity as an 8th grader, and she only continues to get better and better as the season progresses. Sturgis, again, a lot of experience with Hayden Larson returning as a libero. Their setter, McKenna LeBeau, we didn't see her week 1 versus Belfouche on KDSJ Sports. She is back in action. Of course, we also have experience with Brinley Hikis. That's a setter as well in case worse comes to worse. And on the outside, it's a revolving door of attackers for Sturgis, but it all starts and ends with Danica DeShock, a junior outside hitter. They will sit to her early and often to try to get her going against this Spearfish attack.
And it's pretty good that the Sturgis Scoopers have a good mix of girls, lead by example, and some that just rally the troops. As Leah Long is another good player for the Sturgis Scoopers. She's back for her junior season, and she says this year's volleyball team knows each other extremely well. So some thoughts from the players as well as head coach Tammy Lewis, as Clayson Davis had a chance to catch up with her earlier today. That's part of our scouting report on the Sturgis Scoopers as we lay the foundation. Being brought to you by Heiserling Concrete. Give them a call at 605-210-2320. When we come back, we'll hear from the Spearfish Spartans head coach, as Shelby Richards will join us right here on KDSJ Sports.
Your vehicle's manufacturer instead of lower quality aftermarket parts. Certified technicians work with the latest state-of-the-art equipment, and Jake's Collision Repair is preferred by most insurance companies and works with all of them. Jake's Collision Repair, 2416 Junction Avenue in Sturgis and 4415 East Colorado Boulevard in Spearfish.
Monument Health Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is here when you need us for the extreme athletes or those everyday activities. From kiddos with broken bones to retirees with creaky knees. Whether you're pumping iron or planting petunias, we'll be in our clinic locations throughout the region working together. Monument Health Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, getting you moving again so you can confidently say, I'm back. Go to monument.health/orthopedics to find out more.
And welcome back to our Jake's Collision Repair countdown to first serve between the Spearfish Spartans and the Sturgis Scoopers in a Black Hills Conference rivalry tonight on KDSJ Sports. Coach Shelby Richards of the Spearfish Spartans joins us again today. Coach, thank you for the time.
Yes, absolutely.
Coach, before we dive into the Scoopers, talk about that 3-0 homecoming win versus the Lee Deadwood Gold Diggers from last week. How would you rate the performance of your team versus Gold Diggers?
I think we did really well. I think we were a little shook there in that third set just because we saw another injury occur. And that's kind of hard when you have that in the back of your mind. And but overall, I felt like we showed up. We did great. We had Taylor Berry step in for us and just kind of got that match done. And definitely some good things coming from Lead. They're showing progress. So kudos to their coaching program. And, it was a good win for us for sure.
You had a lot of players step up, especially with the injury report starting to pile up from your team. Of course, we saw Taylor Vito get some playing time. Also, we saw one of your sophomores get into the game as well with Taylor Burry. Just as far as some of those players that haven't got a lot of varsity time, Coach, how would you rate their performance in their first major varsity action this season?
They definitely showed up. They've been practicing all season with us, so I wasn't surprised that they stepped in and did as good as they did. But no, we've had a little bit of change in lineup, as you had mentioned, with just our injuries that have occurred. But no, I think it was great, and looking forward into this week with that kind of same lineup. So,
Coach, as you jump into the thick of your Black Hills Conference stretch of your regular season, yes, you have another Class AA opponent tonight in the Sturgis Scoopers, but still a Black Hills Conference opponent nonetheless. How does the mindset of your team change to playing more Class A schools compared to playing Class AA teams that you've seen?
Just staying true to who we are and kind of working through our injuries. So we are running a different lineup again tonight, trying something new with some players in different spots. So just want to focus on doing one thing at a time. So get through tonight with Sturgis. They have some hitters and some height, so we will definitely have to play clean and focus on our game plan to come out with a win.
Coach, what does the injury report to look like for this week?
We still don't have Mia Dirtall back. We're just giving her a little bit more time with that shoulder. And then Lily Sadowski, I'm hoping to see her back next week. And then Avery Rogers, not quite sure with her yet. Hers is still pretty fresh and giving her a lot of fits still, so not sure we'll see her. But tonight we'll put Addie Keller on the outside. She is back from her ankle injury, so we can kind of put her back on the outside where she was last year for us and hopefully get through this week without any additional injuries to our list.
Coach, you've never lost to the Sturgis Scoopers in your tenure here at Spearfish. What do you want to see from your team when they go up against a rival in the Sturgis Scoopers tonight in enemy territory?
Just keeping our heads. We talked about last night that they are a rival. There's always a good crowd. They usually play really well against us naturally with that rival being there. So making sure that we do what we need to do. We are running a different lineup, kind of like I mentioned, so we've just got to stay focused on what we're doing, and we got to get touches on our outside hitter, Danica. She can get some pace on that ball, so we just got to make sure we're getting block touches to help out our defense, and if we serve and serve receive, I think we'll be just fine.
As far as dealing with the two Vleem girls, Coach, two 6'2" athletes from Sturgis, Olivia Vleem, you've seen her throughout your coaching career. She seems to be doing more and more rotations with Sturgis, with Madeline Vleem, the freshman, stepping up for the Scoopers. How do you plan to handle those two tonight?
You know, they definitely have some height, but we have that in our gym as well this year, so it's not going to be something new or different that we see. We just got to stay true to our game plan and run them pin to pin and give our hitters some open holes in the block with those guys. But like we talked yesterday, they're going to get a lot of block touches and keep that ball alive and slow it down for us. So we've got to make sure that as hitters, we're staying behind the ball and seeing those big hands, and then just play scrappy and make sure that we put the ball down last.
As far as your offense, Coach, with some new faces and a new rotation that you're debuting tonight, does the schematics of your offense change a little bit with some of these new players stepping in?
You know, it won't change much. We'll have Julia and Addie Keller on the outside, which if people have watched before, they're used to seeing Addie Keller out there for us last year. Then we're putting Addie Bowman in the middle, which that's where she's been up till this year. So it'll look a little different maybe for others that are just kind of tuning in this season with us. Having Addie Bowman in the middle is going to open up that offense, what we haven't been seeing as much. But overall, it'll look pretty similar. It'll just be kind of some different personnel together, but it should be a very high-paced game on our end.
And finally, Coach, what's your keys to a victory tonight versus the Scoopers?
We always got to serve receive 2.3 or better. That's been our goal, and when we do that, we've noticed a trend that everything else follows and kills and digs, and it just gets us off to a high point. So make sure we serve receive. We want to serve 93% or better. If we can serve aggressive and get them out of system, that'll obviously play in our favor. And then just have some fun. This season's going by really fast, and we have a lot of seniors on this team. So I just want them to enjoy this ride and every moment together, no matter who we're playing, whatever's happening. I want them to enjoy every moment we have together. So
awesome. Coach, thank you for the time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
That is head coach Shelby Richards with the Spearfish Lady Spartans, joining us with our Jake's Collision Repair countdown to first serve. We got more of our pregame show coming up next with our matchup menu and our Dana Dental Arts starting lineups. It's the Scoopers and the Spartans on KDSJ Sports.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth. That is laying the foundation segment as we had our scouting report on the Sturgis Scoopers under head coach Timmy Lewis, as well as hearing from the head coach of the Spearfish Lady Spartans, Shelby Richards, joining us here as part of the Jake's Collision Repair countdown to first serve. Sturgis Scoopers, their last game was last Thursday for homecoming as the Scoopers lost that homecoming match 3-0, 25-13, 25-18, 25-21, and that leads them into this matchup today, their 14th game of the season. For the Spearfish Spartans, They're coming off of a win that we had last week right here on KDSJ when they get a Black Hills Conference interclass win over the Class A Lee Deadwood Gold Diggers. Spearfish winning that a week ago, 3-0, 25-9, 25-11, 25-17. Back-to-back wins now for the Spearfish Spartans, and for the Sturgis Scoopers, they have lost 3 matches in a row. And let's have your matchup menu tonight, and that is being brought to you by Beef Logic and the South Dakota Beef Industry Council. As we have a quick look at this week's South Dakota Media Volleyball poll for Class AA, still the #1 team in the state is your 3-time defending state champions, Harrisburg Tigers. They're still at the top, but they do have a couple of losses now. And also for Rapid City Stevens Raiders, they're there in the top 5. Harrisburg is coming back from a road trip out to Las Vegas this past weekend as they played some matches out there against national competition. Again, the best Class AA team around here is Rapid City Stevens, just above Spearfish in the power points. Class A, #1 team in the state is Del Rapids. Your best team around here will be Rapid City Christian with a record of 12-5. And Class B, the #1 team in the state is undefeated Chest area. Probably the best team around our area still the Harding County Lady Ranchers at 11-1 on the season. And that's a look at your rankings and media poll heading into this week.
Also, to go back to Harrisburg, again, battling a few national teams. They actually defeated the #3 team in the entire nation in California this past weekend, as Harrisburg, now nationally ranked. I believe they're around the 14th nationally ranked team in the entire US of A. So Harrisburg, again, hasn't lost a game in a long time. I can't quite remember what exactly the total is, but it is a lot.
And for our area, again, seeding points, Stevens is 5th, Spearfish is 6th, Sturgis is 15th. They have a record of 3-9 overall, 2-4 at home this season, only 1-8 against teams with winning records. Some Black Hills Conference matchups tonight, including St. Thomas More taking on Hot Springs. Hill City is at home against Lee Deadwood. Belfouche is at Rapid City Christian. And we're going to have Spearfish at Sturgis tonight. #1 is Harrisburg is in action against Sioux Falls, Washington. Some other AA matchups, Aberdeen Central at Huron. Brookings at Mitchell. #3 O'Gorman is at Jefferson. And Yankton is at Sioux Falls, Lincoln. Another ranked team in Class AA, #4 ranked Watertown, will be hosting T-Area tonight.
A lot of matchups going on in Class 11 at AA. We always make fun of how wild a AA in football is. Volleyball, you could say about the same thing.
And we get ready for a AA matchup here in the Black Hills Conference tonight. It's the Spartans at the Scoopers when we come back with the Dana Dental Arts starting lineups.
You see them everywhere. That's because Heinzerling Concrete of Spearfish is the most trusted name for everything from driveways, sidewalks, decorative stamped patios, and of course, foundations. Heinzerling Concrete is proud to support the activities that help our area youth build their foundation for future success. Whatever the job, Heinzerling Concrete is the name you can trust. Google Heinzerling Concrete in Spearfish or call 210-2320.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, you, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Jackson and Spearfish.
Whatever the weather, Wolf's Plumbing and Heating keeps you in the comfort zone with expert heating and air conditioning repair or replacement from American Standard Mitsubishi. For over 7 years, Wolf's Plumbing and Heating has delivered quality service to the Northern Hills and Northeast Wyoming.
Plus, check out all the different flavors of smoothie bowls, salads, and even breakfast items.
Call
Located off I-90, exit 14 on Platinum Drive, just down the hill from the Holiday Inn.
And stay in the comfort zone
at Tropical Smoothie Cafe in Spearfish.
Whether you've lived here for years or if you're new to town, everyone wants to know the best place to buy a quality pre-owned car, truck, and SUV, or where to go to have your current ride kept in shape. Brandon Kemp here from Superior Auto Solutions in Spearfish. Need new tires? We got them. All major brands. Your brakes squeaking, or do you just hear something that's not quite right? We can help. Or maybe you're looking to upgrade to something a little more suitable. Well, you came to the right place. Superior Auto Solutions on Colorado Boulevard in Spearfish, or find us online at superiorauto.com.
And welcome back to the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth tonight as we get ready for the Spartans and the Scoopers, a Black Hills Conference matchup here in Class AA, as we had our matchup menu presented by Beef Logic and the South Dakota Beef Industry Council. A few other games going on in the Black Hills Conference tonight, as well as some matchups around AA, as well as Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, usually the busy nights for volleyball across the state. And Spearfish trying to move up the ladder in Class AA as they're trailing Rapid City Stevens. Spearfish right now in the number 6 spot in the state, and Sturgis number 15. It's time now for our starting lineups, being brought to you by Dana Dental Arts in Spearfish. Let our family care for your family. And we'll go over to the visitor side of things, the Spearfish Spartans. Who do they have starting tonight?
Glad you asked, Cody. Danica DeShock is a starting outside hitter, number 1 at 5'9", junior. Leah Long's a defensive specialist, a junior at 5'9". McKenna LeBeau returns as the setter. She's a senior at 5'7". Piper Rash, she is a sophomore right side at 5'10". Madeline Vleem, she's the freshman middle hitter at 6'2", and also Olivia Vleem. They'll set to her multiple times tonight. She's a junior middle hitter at 6'2". The libero is Hayden Larson, a senior at 5'7", for head coach Timmy Lewis.
And now your starters for the Spearfish Spartans. They'll start number 1, Faith Hoffman, the senior libero at 5'4". Also number 3, Addie Bowman, a senior middle hitter and outside hitter, 5'6". Her main role tonight will be in the middle of the net there. Callie Reiners, she is getting the start, a senior center, 5'7". She's already had some milestones in setting. Last week, she had another milestone, I believe, in digs. 1,000
career digs she sat last week versus Lee Deadwood.
And then also getting the start will be Avery Peterson, a senior defensive specialist, an outside hitter. She stands at 5'5". Tabby Zanstra might get the start tonight depending on who serves to begin the game. She is a senior middle hitter at 5'10". A few more getting the start for the Spearfish Spartans. Julia Billington, the sophomore outside hitter at 5'11". We got Caitlin Wheaton. She is a senior right side hitter at 6'1". And Addie Keller gets the start. She started a lot last year. She is now a junior outside hitter at 5'8". For head coach of the Spearfish Spartans in her 4th season as head coach, Shelby Richards.
It's a rivalry contest and one that the Spartans have mainly dominated, as Spearfish on a 6-game winning streak over the Scoopers. Although last year when the Scoopers took the first set, that's the first set that Sturgis have won over Spearfish in a very, very long time. So it'll be interesting to see tonight how Sturgis does. They have the hometown crowd on their side, and they are hungry for a win over the rival Spartans.
As we get ready to have our first serve and our countdown to first serve tonight, being brought to you by Jake's Collision Repair, with locations in Spearfish and Sturgis. As we're just about set to go here at 7:22, we have our first serve. It's by Sturgis, goes over to the Spartan side. They try to get it over in 3, they do. Now goes over to the Scoopers from the right side hitter position. They get it over. Spearfish sets it from Reiners. Here's the attack by Wheaton, goes over to the Scooper side. Sturgis with the attack. It's dug up there by the Spartans. Nice volley here on the first serve of the game, and we're going to have a whistle. Point for the Spartans.
They're going to catch one of the Scoopers into the net. I did not see who. I'm assuming it was maybe Olivia Vleem, but an early 1-0 lead for Spearfish.
So Spearfish will go back and serve, and doing the serving duties will be number 12. That is Tabby Zanstra. She serves up an ace to begin things. So 2-0 advantage here early on for Spearfish as they set that front line against some height of the Scoopers. Zanstra sends it right down the middle of the floor. That's going to be an ace. Back-to-back aces for Tabby Zanstra.
Zanstra, the second best server for Spearfish in terms of aces. She had a multitude of them last season, and off to a good start tonight as a different rotation for Spearfish. Normally, Callie Reiners is the first one behind the service line.
And now it'll be Zanstra getting it across, and Sturgis unable to get the serve receive. Another point here for the Spartans as they're out to a 4-zip advantage.
Sometimes you can affect the other team serving, not just by acing, but making it hard to pass. And Zanstra did that right there, making it hard for the Scoopers to set up any offense.
Now goes over to the Scooper side. They attack from the net. It's dug up there by Zanstra in the back row. Now here's the chance from Keller. She gets it over. Now here is the set by Reiners, and it goes over to Hoffman. Now Scoopers have it. Here's the attack from their number one, Danica Deshock, and that is going to go long. A point for Spearfish. Or no, they're going to give Scoopers the point there.
Must have been off the hands of Wheaton. So Scoopers will break up the 4-0 run with a block touch.
Our coverage tonight on KDSJ 980, 103.5, KDSJ mobile app, as well as online with the Listen Live link at KDSJ.com, KDSJ980.com, and are up and rolling over there on KDSJ-TV tonight on our YouTube channel and Facebook Live, where you can watch the game for free. And Heikus with the serve. Here's Spearfish with the return. It goes to the back row of Sturgis. Sturgis at the net, gets it over in 3. Now it looks like they'll go to the middle of the floor. Bowman gets it over as the maroon tops and black tights for the Spartans with the libero in gray and maroon. Scooper side, they get it over. It's dug up by Spearfish, but unable to do anything as it goes to the back row. A point for the Sturgis Scoopers to make it 4-2.
Yeah, right there. Spearfish is not able to control the dig that time, unfortunately for them, but Scoopers a little bit of momentum.
Here's Heikus with the serve again for the Sturgis Scoopers, and that will be a point this time for Spearfish, as they'll have a quick substitution in here for the Spearfish Spartans. Checking in will be number 11, Taylor Vittle.
She had some playing time last week. And for the injured Avery Rogers, one of the better servers for Spearfish this season.
As we talked about in the pregame show, some injuries here in late September dealing with for the Spartans. And this one will be an attack and a kill by the Spearfish Spartans as they're on the near side of the net from where we stand. As we look down the net, we got the Sturgis Scoopers on the other side. Here's a serve this time now for the Spearfish Spartans. That will be Vitto behind the service line, and that will be an ace for Spearfish.
Taylor Vitto, again, one of the better servers for Spearfish. That's where she does most of her damage on the team. 4 aces coming into this game, had back-to-back ones right there to lead this game off for Spearfish.
So 3 aces already for the Spartans as the Sturgis Scoopers have it on their side. They're going to go with the attack. It's tipped at the net, but right back to Spearfish where they want it. Outside attack there by Keller. Nothing going over to the Sturgis side. Spartan or the Scoopers with the attack from the middle of the floor, and that's going to be a point for the hometown team.
Olivia Vleem, one of those middle hitters just on the block. Spearfish couldn't recover after just a little tip-off by Vleem after the block touch by Addie Bowman.
Spearfish was up 4-0. Now they're up 7-3. As Deshock will be back to serve. It goes to the net. Here's Bowman with the attack. The libero digs it up. Now back to the Spearfish side. Here's Reiners to set it up for Bowman, and a point for the Spartans.
Bowman absolutely rocketed that one as mainly an outside for most of the season. Now she's moving into that middle hitter position, and when you have an agile middle hitter, you'll set up those slide shots. When the setter sets it to the outside, the middle rotates over, hits it across the net, and Sturgis did not really have a chance to try to dig that one up.
Hoffman serves here for Spearfish. She is the libero. And back to serve, and then Sturgis sends her right back to the Spearfish side, and a point for the Scoopers. They hit that one into the back row. Spearfish unable to be in position to dig that one up. And now we'll go over to the Sturgis Scooper side at the far end of the floor towards the entrance. Serving, it will be Olivia Vleen. And Spearfish unable to get it back over as they almost run into the stand there. Unable to get it over the net as Coach Richards talks to one of her players in the back row about how to dig that one up, and they dig this up. Now over to the near side here, and this one will be a point for the Spearfish Spartans, Julia Billington.
It was a good job by Billington. She gets the start, her first start of the season. She's been playing lights out for the Spartans. Just a sophomore for the outside hitter, and she's just getting better and better as the season progresses.
And this serve will go to the back line and just out of bounds by the Spearfish Spartan server. So Sturgis will get it right back, down 9-6, as we're here at the Sturgis Brown High School West Gym and our Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth set up here on the track. Looking down on the action as at the far end, Sturgis will serve it up. And the Spartan has to get down to dig that one up, and this one will be hit long.
Actually went outside of the antenna as well for Billington. Spearfish not passing the ball very well, and tough serving from Ellie Storm.
So Storm will serve it up again. Spearfish gets in position this time. Behind the back of Reiners, trying to set it up for Bowman. They knew what they were doing that time, but Bowman hits it long.
And now you see Spearfish dealing with a little bit of a run from Sturgis. The Spartans have struggled when it comes to dealing with runs from other teams, and that's one thing that Sturgis wants to get better at this contest, is being consistent, whether that be attacking or serving.
So Spearfish lead has been cut down to 1 here in the first set, 9-8. The best out of 5 here tonight in this Black Hills Conference matchup, and getting it tipped over the net by Tabby Zanstra.
That was a nice play by Zanstra. She was coming from the middle, and Zanstra was getting ready to wind up for a kill, recognized the defense, changed her shot for the last second, and found the open spot for a point. Nice little tip by Zanstra as we see on our Tropical Smoothie Sports replay.
Reiner serves it up to the back row. Here come the Scoopers. They're looking to go to the right side. Is met with a block, but then stays on the Spearfish side, and a point for Sturgis as they get it back to a 1-point game.
That time Spearfish, good job finding the dig. It was just a bit of an overpass, and Spearfish couldn't set up the offense as Spearfish couldn't get that second hit up in the air.
And one of several games going on here in the Black Hills tonight. And our matchup menu featured contest here. Spearfish at Sturgis. Sturgis with the attack comes off of the libero of the Spearfish Spartans. Faith Hoffman unable to dig it up. And we have ourselves a tied game at 10.
Danica Schock, haven't called her name much, but saw the Spearfish block coming, changed her shot, goes cross court with it, and Faith Hoffman was not quite ready for it.
This one goes into the net. Spearfish keeps it alive. Hoffman sends it across. Now the Scoopers on the attack. They tap it over, and Spearfish able to dig it up. Here's the attack this time by Zanstra. And the Scoopers will hit this one. It looked like it was going to go out of bounds, but Spearfish touches it, and that'll be a point for the Scoopers.
Addie Bowman thought it was going to land in that coffin corner right behind her, and went ahead and went after it. Good hustle by Bowman to catch up to the ball, but she just couldn't pass it in play.
There's the dig by the Spearfish Spartans on their side of the net. They send it to the far side, and this gets down inbounds. Point for Spearfish. We're at 11s.
And Tabby Zanstra again using the block, the tall block from Spearfish, as that went off of Madeline Vleem to get the point, and we're tied at 11.
And Spearfish serves. Back there to serve this time was Billington. Spearfish has it on their side. It's partially blocked by Sturgis, and that slows the ball down as it goes to the back row. Spearfish has the lead back, 12-11.
And that's again Tabby Zanstra using the block of Vleem. Just because there's 2 6'2" walls for Sturgis doesn't mean that you can't use them to your advantage on offense either.
There's the serve by Billington, and now Sturgis sets it up on the outside there, and I think one of them, somebody went into the net possibly.
Let's check it out on our Tropical Smoothie Sports replay.
Over on KDSJ-TV, got a good angle
there.
Yeah,
as the setter, LeBeau, too far into the net to give Spearfish a free point.
This is dug up by Sturgis. They luckily get it over. Spearfish Reiner sets up Keller. And that attack will go out of bounds. And it takes a bounce over there towards the student section of Sturgis. So we got a competitive first set here between Sturgis Scoopers, have only won a few games in the season compared to Spearfish, looking for their 11th win. And it's 13-12 right now, Spearfish. Keller does almost the same exact thing as she did last time. This time, it drops in bounds.
I think it went off the block of Sturgis. We'll check that out on the replay as, yeah, it went off the tip. I believe that was Vleem and also Piper Rash coming together. And Keller uses the tip to get another point. Spearfish is doing a good job using the block tips from Sturgis.
Each team gets 2 timeouts per set. Nobody's used any so far. As we continue right along, here's Sturgis on their side. They're going to go with the attack, and they get it over in 3. Reiners sets it up and hitting it back down for the Spearfish Spartans. A nice kill there.
And that is on the outside. And Wheaton slammed that one down with authority. She was confident on that swing.
So now, still back to serve is Zanstra. Should get it right over top of the net, then it nose dives down on the Sturgis side. Then there's a block to beat it. Spearfish Spartans set up that block as you look at the net on the right-hand side. A good one there.
And again, checking that out on our Tropical Smoothie Sports replay, Wheaton and Bowman puts up a wall. Good job to not only just put up the wall, but also attack the ball when it comes to the block, not letting Sturgis break through the block and having it fall on Spearfish's side.
And we are here from the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth. We'll be back in 30 seconds for more Black Hills Conference volleyball action.
For nearly 50 years, Low Roofing Incorporated has been the trusted name in commercial roofing across western South Dakota and eastern Wyoming. Family owned and operated since 1975, they bring quality craftsmanship and reliable service to every project, big or small. From repairs to new installations, Low Roofing Incorporated covers it all. Protect your business with the experts who care and products that last. Call 1-800-658-4543. Low Roofing Incorporated, building a legacy of trust, one roof at a time.
And back here at the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth, and they're the official sports medicine provider to several high schools in the Black Hills and northeastern Wyoming. We're back into live play here with the Sturgis Scoopers hitting it into the block, and that'll be another point for the Spearfish Spartans after that timeout was called by Sturgis. Spearfish getting a point. Now they're up 17-12.
Good crowd from Sturgis, the student section, making the short trip down I-90 over here to Sturgis to support their Spartans.
Spearfish currently on a 5-1 run. And this one is tipped again by Spearfish at the net, but it does go out of bounds on the Spearfish side. So that'll be a point for the Scoopers. Checking in back in is Avery Peterson, the senior defensive specialist, an outside hitter. Only stands at 5'5". We'll see what defensive specialty she can bring to the ball game tonight, as 17-13, Spearfish up by 4.
Cody, that was outstanding defensive specialist for him. Scoopers get an ace on the backside of that. Good serve that time. I wish I had that on replay in the booth. Cody Oliver had the perfect defensive specialist stance I have ever seen.
And we move on. It's 17-14. Spartans up by 3. Way in the back row now. It looks like Spearfish is going to be able to get it over as they send it to the far side. Hopefully he can stay with us. Clayson Davis over there on KDSJ-TV. Here is the attack by Keller. It's touched by Sturgis, and a point for the Spearfish Spartans.
That time, Addie Keller did find that cross-court shot. That was her bread and butter last season, and able to scoop by the block, had enough on the top of it to sink it down right into that short corner of the net. And Spearfish and Addie Keller back in the starting lineup with this new rotation look for the Spartans.
Vito back to serve for Spearfish, gets it over cleanly, and now Sturgis just taps it over, and this one will fall down for a point for the Spearfish Spartans. We've done a lot of their games, most of them at home this year. A short little road trip here to Sturgis tonight. You also did game 1 for the Sturgis Scoopers earlier this year when they played at Belle Fourche. I think they won that in straight sets to begin the season.
Mm-hmm. It was the Sierra Kilt's debut for the Bronx, and Sturgis looked really good. Of course, the Bronx, a little bit of a rebuilding year, but the Scoopers have kind of beat up on some Class A teams in the Black Hills Conference.
And here is Spearfish on their side, goes deep into the net. We're going to keep this one alive. Spartans get it across. Now on the Sturgis side, they set up the middle hit, and that is going to be a point for the Scoops. Nice rally, Spearfish. Good job of digging that ball out of the net to give their offense a chance to set it up. Olivia Vleem hits it off the top of the net, and it lands perfectly right in the one spot of the floor that Spearfish was not ready for. So Spearfish has a 19-15 advantage here in set one. It's going to 25, got to win by 2. And this one is hit down. Great job by Bowman to find the angle to just navigate that between 2 girls. And that's one thing that you get when an athletic middle of Bowman. What she lacks in size, she makes up in jumping ability and speed. Those slide shots that Reiners tries to set up as far as for her middles, she's able to do it and be more lenient with Bowman because she is athletic enough to catch up to it, use her height, and get it over. And we're going to have a whistle, and this will be a point for the Scoopers. I believe they're going to get a lift on Billington, as that was an awkward ball that landed right at Billington. She just kind of hits it up with the palm of her hand, which is, by definition, a lift. Billington, one of the tallest girls on the team for the Spartans at 5'11". Senior Caitlin Wheaton is the tallest girl at 6'1". The Vleem girls share the height for the Sturgis Scoopers. Both of those are at 6'2". And we have this one going out of bounds, so that's going to be a point for Spearfish. Yeah, speaking right on cue, Billington using another block touch from Sturgis to knock the ball out of bounds off of the Scoopers. Puts back Addie Bowman to serve, who has 18 aces on the season. Just an all-around volleyball player for the Spartans. Sturgis able to get it over in 2. Spearfish meets him with the attack. It's dug up there. Now here's the set. Another kill attempt by Sturgis. They're trying to set up that block on the other side of the net here, but Sturgis keeps it alive. They're going to get it over in 3. Reiners, and then I think she's going to get called for the lift, possibly. It's either that or in the net, but she kind of knew it as she tried to back away and hide from everything, like hide into a bush. But yeah, she wasn't really close to the net, so I think they're just going to catch her for a lift. 17-21. Good contest here in set number 1 in Sturgis. LA Storm back to serve here for the Sturgis Scoopers. A senior right side hitter comes in off the bench, and a point here for the Spearfish Spartans as they get up to 22. Tabby Zanstra, another block touch. This one off of Maddie Vleem, and she's just a freshman. She leads the Scoopers in blocks. Might be that next level development for the freshman, attacking the ball when it comes to her block instead of just putting her hands up hoping to stop it. Reiners with the serve over, one of the best servers on the team. As we say that, it's going to be an error on the serve and goes back to the Scoopers. I like the idea. Reiners saw a soft spot in the middle of that defense, the one to float it over, maybe use the top of the net to stop her momentum and have it drop in front of the Scoopers, but instead she scores a goal. A good athlete. Leah Long is your server for the Sturgis Scoopers. As Sturgis has it on their side, they attack. Now it's back over to Spearfish. Spearfish sends it over. Sturgis from the libero with the set. Here's the attack. Goes high up in the air, stays on the Spearfish side. Here's the attack by the Spearfish Spartans, and they will get a kill by Julia Billington. Billington, second on the team in kills, a 132 coming into this contest. Best hitting percentage for the Spartans, hitting at a 294 clip the entire season. And we'll have more action from the Sturgis Brown High School West Gym, the Spartans and the Scoopers, in our high school volleyball match of the week.
Fisher Sand and Gravel of Spearfish supports community and school athletics. Plus, they support community development with services in and around the Black Hills. Fisher is an aggregate company headquartered in Spearfish with 2 local commercial quarries in Beulah and Newcastle, Wyoming. They sell all sizes of aggregates for commercial and individual projects from a pickup load to thousands of tons. Whatever you need, Fisher Sand and Gravel, proud supporter of all community, college, and high school athletics. Good luck to all teams and athletes competing in today's game.
And back here in Sturgis as the Scoopers host the Spartans. This is the second straight home game for the Sturgis Scoopers. They lost their homecoming game last week to the Hill City Rangers in straight sets. And now they're hosting the Spearfish Spartans in another Class AA matchup here in the Black Hills Conference. As we say thanks to some more of our sponsors, including Heisling Concrete. Give them a call at 605-210-2320. And the serve by Spearfish will have a service error on them. Give a point to the Scoopers to make it a 4-point game.
Spearfish, unforced errors has been the story for the Spartans. It's what's halted their momentum and given their opponents momentum, especially in these end-of-set moments.
And this will be a point here for the Spearfish Spartans as they'll get that serve back. And now we're going to have set point at a 24-19.
This time, Tabby Zanstra from the back row. She's now serving, but using that cross-court shot, catching the Scoopers off guard. They've been susceptible to that a few times tonight.
Zanstra sends it across the net over to the far side. It's a 50-50 ball there at the net, and Spearfish will win that battle, and they will win the set.
As we check that out on our Tropical Smoothie Sports replay, Bowman, the middle, saw the ball coming her way on the overpass from Sturgis, and instead of trying to tip it over in a random spot, used her court awareness. And also Bowman able to jump, hang in the air for about 3 to 5 business days. Finds the open spot, tips it right to that area, and Spearfish closes out with an impressive but yet thrilling 25-19 first set win.
So a 6-point advantage there for the Spartans as they take game number 1. Coming up next, we'll let you know who the officials are for tonight's contest as we get ready for set number 2 right here on KDSJ Sports.
If it can be imagined, it can be created. Eaton Construction and Belle Fourche specializes in site development for your next commercial project. Size is no issue. Earth moving for grading on any level. Utility installation for single projects or entire subdivisions. Whatever the project, Eaton Construction has it handled. Gravel hauling, construction of roads from scratch and down to basements. You know who you need for the job. Eaton Construction. Call 605-210-2223 today. That's 605-210-2223.
Hillen Optical has been helping families see clearly for over 50 years. They're more than just an eye care center. They're part of your community, committed to keeping your family's vision healthy and strong. From kids' first eye exams to the perfect frames for every family member. They're here to make your experience easy, affordable, and comfortable. Come visit Hillen Optical, where your family's vision is their top priority, because seeing life's special moments starts with healthy eyes. Hillen Optical, caring for your family one pair of eyes at a time.
In a world of
and welcome back to KDSJ Sports volleyball matchup of the week tonight here on this Tuesday from the Sturgis Brown High School West Gym, as the Spearfish Spartans last played a week ago tonight here on KDSJ when they got a win over the Lee Deadwood Gold Diggers. They've had that week to prepare here for a Class AA team, trying to get healthy, but they actually lost another girl instead of gaining girls. But hopefully when we get to the month of October, which is much more important, the girls will be ready to go. And it's time now for our Law on the Court. It's being brought to you by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Division of Consumer Protection. Here are tonight's game officials.
And tonight's game officials, the officials are Leon Hollenstead and Robert Steffi. The line judges, Callie Walker and Alex Heyman.
Steffi is up on the stand tonight as they all wear the blue polos and black pants. We're ready to go here for set number 2. Spearfish winning the first set 25-19, and we're off and going here. And Spearfish will have it on their side. Here's the attack, and this one goes right into the net by the Spearfish Spartans.
Spearfish, a little bit dysfunctional, trying to figure out their offense with set number 1. Again, this is a brand new rotation that they haven't done much of this season with Addie Keller into the lineup. Of course, you have a revolving door of girls playing and a lot more bench players getting some opportunities for the Spartans this season.
Yeah, Durdall's out tonight along with Avery Rogers and Lily Sadowski.
What a dig by Reiners going up against Olivia Vleem.
And both teams stay on their side of the nets here as we get into set number 2. Point there for Spearfish. Spearfish, they had a 4-0 lead early on in that first set. They got it up to 19-15 and then finished it off 25-19. And Spearfish will send it over there on the serve by Billington. Now Sturgis sends it to the middle of the floor. They look over to the outside, and I believe we're going to have a violation on the Sturgis Scoopers to give the Spartans a point.
A lift. Spearfish serving very aggressively in this contest so far. Even though Sturgis is able to get a dig, they're usually not able to dig it cleanly, either with an overpass, this time with a lift.
Here's the serve by Spearfish over to the Scooper side. And this one will be a block there at the net by Spearfish. Nice, clean play there by the Spartans.
Wheaton, 6'1" for the Spartans. We talk about the height of both of the Vleem girls for Sturgis. Spearfish has got some height on their team this year, and Wheaton just jumps over the net and puts it right down.
And here comes Sturgis as they're trying to show their height, and if they can just keep it in bounds, there's another attack that goes out.
And this is what happens when you're struggling hitting the ball, especially against the block of Spearfish. You start to overthink your shots as far as trying to go around the block. That time, Vleem goes outside and hits it long. And when it rains, it pours, now with an ace.
There's an ace served up by Julia Billington, and a timeout call here by Timmy Lewis and the Sturgis Scoopers as we have a look at our matchup menu again tonight. That's being brought to you by Beef Logic and the South Dakota Beef Industry Council. We'll run down some more of the matchups across western South Dakota, the Black Hills Conference, and some Class AA matchups. Phillip is at home against White River tonight. The 11-1 Harding County Lady Ranchers, they're at home against Hewlett, Wyoming. Faith is at home against Gettysburg. Ulrichs goes to New Underwood. In the Black Hills Conference, there are 4 matchups tonight. There is St. Thomas More at Hot Springs. Let's see, Lee Deadwood is at Hill City tonight. Bellefouche is at Rapid City Christian down at the Hart Ranch. Spearfish is at Sturgis here on KDSJ Sports. Top-ranked team in Class AA, the Harrisburg Tigers, are at home against Sioux Falls, Washington. Also in AA action, Aberdeen Central is at Huron. Brookings is at Mitchell. Number 3 O'Gorman is at Jefferson. Yankton at Lincoln. T-Area is at number 4 Watertown. And Wall is at Lyman in another matchup out there in Presho tonight. So 6-1 advantage here as we come out of the timeout called by Sturgis. And so 6-1 lead here for the Spearfish Spartans. And they're continuing to serve. Here in the back row is Billington, and Billington hits that one inside the line. And that is another ace, as Spearfish has maybe 4 or 5 aces total in the match so far.
Billington just got her 3rd straight ace to start the second set. Wrong sport, 0 for 3. We've done a lot of sports on KDSJ. Now make that 4 in a row. Holy cow.
That is 8-1, as now Sturgis will sub in somebody to maybe try to stop this ace rally. So Tylee Bestien will come in, a sophomore outside hitter.
Bestien, she's had a lot of praise come her way from Timmy Lewis when I talked to her earlier today, as this time
she hit it on a nice spot there down the line for that serve, but it actually hit the foot of the line judge, and that would be out of bounds.
Accuracy. You aim small, you miss small.
So now Sturgis will serve, going to the back line. I believe is Hikus.
Yep, Hikus had 15 assists versus Custer and split duty as the setter.
This one swung on and well, right into the net by Ellie Storm.
That's unfortunate for Storm. An overpass for Spearfish had that ball served up to Storm on a plate, and unfortunately, Storm hits it right into the net.
And back to serve is Zenstra, and another ace for the Spearfish Spartans. So you give credit to Spearfish with the aces. The serve receive is not going well right now for the Scoops.
5 aces for Spearfish, and it's only 10-2. So most of the damage for Spearfish being done behind the service line. That's one thing that Coach Lewis thought her team was vastly improved with this season, is their serve receive. Well, not this second set.
It's dug up this time by the Scoopers, and then at the net, the Spearfish Spartans are there. Nice job of staying just away from the net to get it over, and that is Addie Keller with the kill.
Even if it wasn't an ace, Sturgis still had the scramble to try to get it dug up. They weren't able to pass the ball cleanly off of the Zanstra serve, and Keller had that one served up to her on a dinner plate, and she puts it down.
11-2 Spartans with the advantage here in set number 2. They won set 1, if you're keeping track at home. Here's the block by Sturgis. Nice job by Wheaton to get it over. And now they go to the outside, and this will be hit out of bounds right in front of the Scooper bench.
Wheaton tried the cross-court shot, had it blocked in her face. Good job by Wheaton to recover, set up another opportunity. They wanted to try Wheaton again. She tried that cross-court shot again, only making it a little shorter. She had enough power on it, couldn't quite get it down, and it lands straight down the net and out of bounds.
So now serving is Lexi Carver into the game, a sophomore defensive specialist at 5'3". She will stand back at the far baseline and serve it up. Spearfish is there with the dig. As they serve receive, they get it across by Bowman. She's been kind of quiet tonight. It's been a lot of action from Zanstra and Wheaton. And this one will be partially blocked by Sturgis. Comes down on the Spearfish side.
Olivia Vleem going up against Addie Bowman, and just putting physics into it, it's hard for 5'7" to go over 6'2", no matter how high you can jump.
Here's Carver with the serve on the Spearfish side. They get it over in 3. Now Sturgis starts to scramble, and the ball bounces on the floor on their side of the net.
Sturgis, good job to set up the block by Vleem. Unfortunately, there wasn't anyone there to try to set it up, as LeBeau couldn't quite catch. Actually, no, LeBeau's not even on the floor. It's actually Hikis, when the other setters for Sturgis not able to catch up to it in time.
Viddle with the serve for Spearfish. Here's Sturgis, gets it across, and right down the middle of the floor. The kill there by Olivia Vleem.
And that's just Vleem using her experience. She's been playing a lot of volleyball ever since she was a freshman. This time saw the block, developed too early for the Spartans, changes their shot, tips it right over the block, and one was home for Spearfish.
Here is Reiners trying to set it up for Bowman. Athleticism comes into play there as she's able to get it across. Here's the Sturgis Scoopers as that one lands right there at the free throw line stripe, and a point for the Sturgis Scoopers on their home floor.
And that was Briley Peterson, sophomore. Again, has had a lot of praise from Coach Lewis as one of those sophomores that's been the most consistent for the Scoopers, where consistency hasn't been the greatest all season long.
Overall, still a young team for the Sturgis Scoopers, and this will be a point for Spearfish. We do have Rash, who starts as a sophomore. We've seen sophomores Briley Peterson and Tylee Bestian get some playing time. Another sophomore, Lexi Carver, and then a few seniors with LeBeau, Larson, and Storm. And now it's on the Sturgis side after the Spearfish block. Sturgis has to get it over, and they do not, as it hits the top of the net and bounces right back at her face.
Unfortunately for Storm, not able to get that one over the net. Hits it hard and might have been a little late on her jump, and therefore the ball lands right in the middle of the net.
So now Spearfish will serve from the middle of the floor. Faith Hoffman, that's where she likes to serve. And now we have the 50-50 ball at the net. Bowman sends it over. Deep in the back. And now here comes Sturgis. They get it over, and Spearfish gets the dig, but then nothing else after that.
Yeah, this time Storm was able to get it off the top of the net, and Vida was there for the dig, just couldn't dig it cleanly. Excuse me, Rogers with the dig. Vida was trying to recover the ball that Rogers couldn't dig very clean.
Diving for it is Spearfish, and they're unable to dig it up. So a couple points here for the Scoopers makes it a 5-point game, 13-8.
And this is where Ellie Storm does most of her damage for the Scoopers, and that is behind the service line, as she was a part of a 6-point scoring run that kept Sturgis in that game versus Hill City.
And this will be a point here for the Spearfish Spartans from the outside. It's Bowman with the kill.
Bowman, that cross-court shot slid over from the middle hitter position to the outside. And when you have your middle hitter shifting to one side, the defense reacts and shifts over to that middle hitter. That's an easy cross-court shot for Bowman to hit it down the net into that open area where the Scoopers all leave.
Here is the serve by Spearfish. They are able to get it over in 3. Sturgis returns the favor. Now over on the Spearfish side, and this is going to be a violation as we have one of the line judges waving his flag. What does that mean?
That means that the ball made contact with the antenna. As we say the pylon for football, if you touch it, it's a good thing, it's a touchdown. Volleyball, it's a bad thing. If you touch the pylon, that means it is technically out of bounds.
So now it's Leah Long to serve for the Sturgis Scoopers, and this will be an ace, unable to dig it up as that was Taylor Vittle. It came at her fast.
Sometimes it's hard when that ball is flying at you and it dies right in front of your feet. You really don't know how to quite dig it up. That time Vitto just couldn't quite get it controlled in time.
Eye-hand coordination comes in key in this sport. And it's set up at the net for one of the Vleem girls. And she just taps it over. Nice job there by Madeline.
Madeline Vleem, freshman at 6'2". I don't know if they start putting Miracle-Gro and the Vleem girls tacos when they're about 7th grade, but it seems like they're always big. And what a nice little ace by Leah Long. That one hit the very top of the net, and it died right in front of the Spartans. No one could even try to get it if they even had the chance to.
So Long hits this one to the middle of the floor on the Spearfish side. Here's Reiners to set up the Spearfish Spartans attack. Now goes over to the Scooper side. Sturgis gets it over. Spearfish, Reiners sets up Billington, and a point here for Spearfish, their 15th.
That was a routine play for Spearfish. When in doubt, instead of trying to use the block or use the block touch or tip it over, sometimes you just got to hit it to all reliable, and that is this time Julia Billington goes to her in the strong side, hits it to the open spot, and caddy cornered across from herself in the net and finds the pay dirt.
And speaking of old reliable, here's Kelly Reiners on the serve, and that will be a point for Spearfish. Sturgis unable to serve, receive, and get it back over.
The hitting errors and serve receive have been the story of this second set. Sturgis has been struggling in terms of both of those categories.
And dug up this time by Spearfish as they're getting hustling at it. Here's Sturgis with the dig on their side. There's the scent, waiting for the attack. They tap it over, dug up by Spearfish. Almost went underneath the net that time. And now here's Sturgis. They slow things down a little bit more. Back over to Spearfish. Reiners will set it up for Wheaton. Wheaton on one side, Billington on the other side of the net in that front row. And this will be a point for Spearfish.
As that was quite a rally from both teams, as it was almost a tip fest. Both teams saw each other's block get set up, tried tipping it to the open area, and the rest of the defense from both squads able to recover.
Here's Reiners on the serve. And then it's tipped there at the net, and it goes over. Point for the Spearfish Spartans. Nice position there by Tabby Zanstra.
And again, that's what makes Callie Reiners from behind the service line so tough to stop. Even if she doesn't get very many aces, in which she leads the team, so she automatically does, she makes it very hard for the defense to try to dig her balls up and try to set up their offense.
18-12, Spartans with a 6-point advantage. We'll be back next.
Jake's Collision Repair uses only original parts made by your vehicle's manufacturer instead of lower quality aftermarket parts. Certified technicians work with the latest state-of-the-art equipment, and Jake's Collision Repair is preferred by most insurance companies and works with all of them. Jake's Collision Repair, 2416 Junction Avenue in Sturgis and 4415 East Colorado Boulevard in Spearfish.
Or visit our website at fbccontainers.
Monument Health Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is here when you need us. For the
In a world of few guarantees, Jake's Collision Repair stands behind all. Few guarantees, Jake's Collision Repair stands behind all of their work with a lifetime guarantee. Jake's Collision Repair uses only original parts made by your vehicle's manufacturer instead of lower quality aftermarket parts. Certified technicians work with the latest state-of-the-art.
And welcome back here to Sturgis.
Jake's Collision Repair is preferred by most insurance companies
and
works
in the regular
with
season over in Spearfish coming up in October. Reiners sends it over on the serve. Now Reiners sets things up for the Spearfish Spartans as the Scoopers have already used both of their timeouts here in the second set. And this one will hit long. Nobody, let's see. It will be a kill by Wheaton. Looks like that was going to get hit too long in the back and be a point for the other team. but I think somebody must have touched it. So a point for Spearfish, 19-12. And now here's the Scoopers as they hit it into the top of the net. And they will say a point for the Spearfish Spartans. They hit one of those key points of the set at 20-12. And back to serve is still Reiners. She's had some success here with 5 or 6 straight points. And here's the attack, and it is blocked up there by the Spearfish Spartans. Good defense there by Zanstra and Wheaton.
Wheaton, second on the team in blocks coming into this contest. Of course, with the Spearfish's leading blocker and Lily Sadowski out of the contest, Wheaton has had to step up this game to really set up the wall for the Spartans.
So this is Reiners, and she'll set it up for Billington. And we have a whistle, and Spearfish is going to continue to serve.
As I believe they got Sturgis in the net.
So now serving for Spearfish will be Billington. Goes over to the Sturgis side. The Scoopers sent it over in 3. And just a tap over, but a good defense played there by the Sturgis Scoopers. They timed that perfect with the block.
Yeah, Spearfish had the overpass, and Sturgis knew it. Olivia Vleem was getting ready for the tip over by Wheaton, and when Wheaton did the tip, it was a nice little easy tip back for Vleem, and Wheaton, her momentum carried her right into the net.
Hikus with the serve here for the Sturgis Scoopers. Now over to Spearfish. They will hit this. Let's see, Spartans hit this one long.
There's a good attempt by Keller. This time, instead of the cross-court shot that she's done multiple times tonight, Sturgis was ready for it. She shoots it down the line. Good-looking shot, just lands a bit outside.
Now here's the Spartans. As it looks like they're going to be able to get it over. Sturgis unable to dig it up. So with no timeouts left for Sturgis, they're down by 7 now, 22-15 here in set number 2.
Yeah, Addie Keller with the kill that time. Spearfish, they want to set to their junior with her first varsity action this season, and that was too easy for Addie Bowman.
And she gets the point here for the Spearfish Spartans to make it 23-15 on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. We also want to say thanks to Dana Dental Arts, the Auto Doctor, and also to Monument Health, some of our fall sports sponsors. As Sturgis gets it over. Now here's Spearfish, and Bowman gets another point for the Spartans. Sturgis was able to dig it up, but was hit so hard that ricocheted off her hand and went into the crowd.
It's kind of like in football when the quarterback throws a perfect pass, you ask yourself, how can you defend that? It's the same thing when attacker in volleyball just has the perfect hit that's so fast and hard to stop. You just ask yourself, how do you defend that?
And the net was defending that serve, and that service error is on Spearfish. So now the Scoopers will serve.
What's the saying that the kids say these days? This ain't soccer.
There's a lot of things that they say.
What was it? Radio. I think this ain't soccer is something. That's what we said when I was in high school when someone hit it into the net.
Okay.
Because it's like the net and you get it.
Now over to the Sturgis Scooper side as they try to get it over in 3. They do. Reiners just defensively gets it out of her way. And then Keller gets it up over the net, over to the Scooper side. Now Spearfish trying to get it in position for Keller again. Sturgis on the attack by Vleem. Now goes to the back row. Here's Reiners. Sets it up. And this one goes deep. Nice rally here for both of these teams. Reiner sets it up for Bowman, and we can put that one on the board. Yes, 25-16. A kill for the Spartans gets them the win.
Again, when in doubt, set up Addie Bowman. This time playing the middle. Bowman was drifting over to her left when she jumped. Therefore, the block for Sturgis followed her actions. She's able to get underneath it just enough to hit it back across against the momentum of her body. Finds the open spot, and there wasn't a scooper in sight to try to dig it up.
So the Spearfish Spartans now up 2-0 on their rival, the Sturgis Scoopers, in our high school volleyball match of the week. We'll be back with your third set coming up next on KDSJ Sports.
In In a world of few guarantees, Jake's Collision Repair stands behind all of their work with a lifetime guarantee. Jake's Collision Repair uses only original parts made by your vehicle's manufacturer instead of lower quality aftermarket parts. Certified technicians work with the latest state-of-the-art equipment, and Jake's Collision Repair is preferred by most insurance companies and works with all of them. Jake's Collision Repair, 2416 Junction Avenue in Sturgis and 4415 East Colorado Boulevard in Spearfish.
Monument Health Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is here when you need us for the extreme athletes or those everyday activities. From kiddos with broken bones to retirees with creaky knees. Whether you're pumping iron or planting petunias, we'll be in our clinic locations throughout the region working together. Monument Health Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, getting you moving again so you can confidently say, I'm back. Go to monument.health/orthopedics to find out more.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth here for a Tuesday night. And as we have a look at our broadcast schedule for the rest of this week, coming up Friday night, we're on the road, Clayson Davis.
Oh, yes, we are. It's the first time since the first week of the football season. We're heading to Huron, South Dakota for a massive Class 11 AA contest in the state.
Massive. It's Class 11 AA. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll be there to call the play-by-play.
I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen. It's about like watching the NFL half the time. The teams that you think are going to win and be good this season all of a sudden lose. The teams you don't think are going to be worth anything this season come up and surprise a lot of people, and it changes weekly. And that's no different this year.
And it's going to be a good one. Huron and Spearfish, two of the top 6 teams in the state. And we'll have it for you, 6 o'clock kickoff on Friday night. Then on Saturday, it is Swarm Days in Spearfish. That features the Yellow Jacket homecoming matchup. Steve Emmerman will have the call there.
Yes, the Yellow Jackets going up against Colorado School of Mines. They used to dominate the RMAC conference in terms of football. They just lost to Chadron State last week, and they'll be mad and ready to go for Swarm Days versus Black Hill State.
That's a 1 o'clock kick on Saturday, right here on KDSJ Radio. So we're back to action, third set, and we are underway as Hayden Larson was the one serving it up. Sturgis Scoopers tap it over. Spearfish is there defensively, and this one gets down just in front of the diving girl for the Sturgis Scoopers. Hayden Larson, the libero, couldn't dig that one up.
That was Addie Bowman again, this time from the back row. Doesn't hit it super hard, but it lofts just enough to land right in front of, I believe that was Leah Long who attempted to dig that one up.
So now it's going to be the serve here by Zanstra for the Spearfish Spartans. She was our superior performer last week in that win over the Lee Deadwood Gold Diggers, where Coach Richards knew they had to kind of slow things down against a slower Lee Deadwood squad. Now you have to amp up the pace again as you take on the AA Scoopers.
Yeah, the Scoopers, they also traditionally play at a slower pace, but they adapt to what the other teams are doing. Spearfish likes to play at a faster pace, and sometimes teams like with Lee Deadwood, you have no choice but to slow it down. This time versus Sturgis, you're able to run your tempo offense and try to get the Scoopers off guard.
And here is Spearfish on their side. They're trying to set up somebody to hit it over, and they found that person. That was Wheaton with the kill.
Wheaton using another block touch for the Scoopers. Again, sometimes when you can't hit around the block, you'll hit through the block. Wheaton able to split the team of DeShock and Vleem to get the kill.
So Wheaton comes out, and then Vito comes in to serve for Spearfish. So Taylor gets it over. Now Sturgis trying to get it over in 3, but it goes into the net, and Spearfish takes a 3-1 advantage. We look back at set number 2. Spearfish was up 16-12, 18-12, 24-16. They finished them off 25-16, and now off to a good start here, up 3-1. And that'll be Vito to serve it over. You can see the action for free tonight on KDSJ-TV. Nice. And right there you see Addie Bowman with the kill.
Bowman, she didn't really have a good attempt at it. It looks like she jumped off one leg, but kicked her legs out behind her. I've never seen her do that before. Hits it across the net, and it's just good court awareness by Addie Bowman to always find the open spot.
So now over to the Spearfish side, the libero with the dig. Here's the attack by Keller. She's back in the starting lineup tonight. And over to Vittle on the Spearfish side. Now here's the attack by Bowman. It's off the hand of a Sturgis Scooper. Point for Spearfish. They lead this third set 5-1.
And this time the offense and the pace for Spearfish. Sturgis is having to try to catch up and try to keep tempo, and that gives someone like Bowman, who can switch her shot at the last moment, a chance to go at attack at the middle, so she has the entire court to her advantage. This time uses the block of Leem to get the point.
And this one will go into the net by the Sturgis Scoopers on their serve receive. So a point for Spearfish as Spartans are serving on the near side of the net here with their bench just below us with the student section. Scooper players and their bench on the far side of the net. Here at the Sturgis Brown High School West Gym as we're up here on the track. Here is Reiners trying to do one of those, I don't know, what would that be? Like a reverse across
like
their
a
body.
dump off, I believe is what they call it. Just a dump, but that sounds bad. So a dump off is what Reiners tries to do. Again, try to catch the defense off guard. Quick little tip over the net. She usually finds the soft spot in the middle if Sturgis is playing for the third hit. Well, she dumps it off into the net, unfortunately, for Callie Reiners.
So Carver serves here for the Sturgis Scoopers, trying to get back into this match as they trail 6-3 now, as the point that time goes to Sturgis as the Spartans hit it long.
Spearfish not intimidated by the block of Sturgis so far. They've been able to hit around it, have used on many block touches to score points. This time Spearfish just goes a bit long.
Now it goes to the net and swing and a miss there by the Spartans, but they'll get the point there, won't they?
Yeah, I believe Keller just got enough of it to get it over the net. Okay. I believe she wasn't even off the block. It bounced right off the top of the net and fell right in front of the Scoopers, who really didn't have a chance to make anything out of it.
You got some good views and looks there on KDSJ-TV and looking down the net on that one. And let's see, it'll be still Spearfish serve. I believe Hoffman, the libero.
Yep, Hoffman on a little bit of a scoring run for Spearfish. The Sturgis, the serve receive, has not been clean tonight, and that's where many of these Spearfish runs have started.
Goes to the back row, and Spearfish unable to dig it up. And so that'll be a point for Sturgis under head coach Timmy Lewis, who played college volleyball down at Chadron State. Now, a couple years as head coach here at Sturgis.
Her third season as at the helm of the Scoopers, have not yet beat Spearfish in her coaching career.
And here's Spearfish trying to get it over in three. They do, over her back. And now Spearfish digs it up. Good job by Reiners. Goes back to Reiners. She doesn't get very many kill attempts. She has an attack right there and a point.
Yeah, Reiners, she's usually the one setting up the attack. But anytime she gets a bump set her way, she wants to make the most of it. It's kind of like an offensive lineman when he ever gets his hands on the football. It doesn't happen very often, but when they get their opportunity, they're trying to make the most of it.
And Reiners went over 1,000 digs in her career last week. She's been playing varsity since, I think, the 8th grade. And here is the attack by Spearfish Billington. She'll have another chance at the attack. Good job by Sturgis to dig it up. They send it across in two. Spearfish isn't quite ready, but they are able to get it over the net. And here's the attack by Sturgis. It's dug up there by the libero for Spearfish. And here's the attack once again by Billington. Scoopers keep it alive.
Yeah, the Scoopers this time hustling to rally and catch up to the Spartans. And it's making it hard for Spearfish to get anything over the net.
Good rally we got going on here between these two teams. Another block at the net by the Spartans. Over to the Scoopers. They find an opening, but it's hit too long. And a point for Spearfish.
No, they're going to give it to the Scoopers. I didn't hit my replay button hard enough on KDSJ-TV. I thought it went off a tip of Spearfish, but the tip put a little bit more air on that ball from Sturgis, and that long rally that goes to your home squad, gets the crowd involved, could be the start of some momentum, especially with our best server behind the service line in Ellie Storm.
Storm gets it over, and Spearfish hits it out of bounds. Over the net, but on the out-of-bounds side of the antenna thingy.
Yep, hits it on the illegal side of the antenna thingy.
So back to serve again is Storm. We'll see if she can serve up a Storm here and get the Scoopers back in it, down by 3. And they set up the block. Nice job there by the Scoopers. Number 10, Madeline Vleem, the freshman.
Again, leads the Scoopers in blocks. This time, again, it all came from that long rally. This time, Zanstra off the block of Vleem lands on Spearfish's side. And Sturgis starting to crawl their way back into this third set.
9-7, Spearfish with the advantage, but a nice rally put together here by the Scoopers. It's on their side of the net. There's the set. Here's the attack. Partially blocked by Spearfish. Now their middle hitter comes over and gets the attack and a kill there for Spearfish.
Billington just got enough on it to get by the block. Splits between the block of the Scoopers, and it fell just slow enough that the Scoopers didn't really have much of a chance to try to act on it.
So now Reiners is back to serve. She sends it short. Now Sturgis Scoopers able to get it over in 3. Reiners sets it up this time for the attack, and it's going to be hit too long there by Wheaton.
A cross-court shot. Spearfish has done it multiple times tonight. It's been probably one of their most successful shots they've chose between Wheaton, Billington, Addie Bowman, Zanstra. Now the Scoopers starting to adjust, tighten up their defense toward the net to cut that off and making it Spearfish hit long.
And now here's the attack, and this one will be a kill for Spearfish as they get their rotation down. That time, Wheaton.
You know how I said that Sturgis was doing a good job on those cross-court shots? Well, that time Wheaton found just enough of an opening in the block and took advantage of it.
Her and Keller like those spots to get it diagonally over the net. And speaking of the net, looks like somebody might have went into it.
And I think Spearfish might have punched the net.
Taking out some of their aggression on the net. You can't do that. It's now 11-9.
It's not a very good place to punch. There's a bunch of holes in it. You're going to miss. You're going to get your hand caught.
And it'll flap right on back and hit you in the face.
Yeah.
Here is Hayden Larson. She is a senior. The libero gets it across. Here's the attack. Dug up there by Long. Now on the near side for Spearfish. Reiners trying to get a set assist. And she doesn't, as that one is just out of bounds.
Let's take a look at that on our Tropical Smoothie Sports replay. Bowman from the back row, just lands just on the outside of the coffin corner for Bowman. So good call by our law on the court.
1-point game. Scoopers down by 1, trying to tie it up here as they get their defense set, but it's off of their fingertips, lands on the Scooper side. Get to one of those key points of the match where the Sturgis or the Spearfish Spartans up to 12. Halfway there.
First one, 2-12. Keller breaking through the block. Now you have Tabby Zanstra, who's been a menace from behind the service line back to serve.
She is able to get it across. Scoopers one-time it. Now middle of the floor. Vleem gets it across. Here's Reiners to set up Keller, but that goes into the net. Point for the Scoopers. Scoopers just staying right there, point for point.
And that's one thing like the Scoopers, when they start to get a roll, play some scrappy defense, they don't want to quit, especially playing a rival. They haven't beaten Spearfish in the past 6 tries, and they're trying to force the reverse sweep in front of their hometown fans.
Junior Brinley Heikes comes in and serves up an ace for the Sturgis Scoopers to tie it up at 12.
Heikes, a big ace. Again, it all started with that long rally. Sturgis went on a 3-point run after the long rally. Then Spearfish started to get back their momentum, start to get on a little bit of a drive. But then Sturgis never did go away. Let's see if that ace turns into something big for the Scoops.
Here's the Spartans as they get slammed down there by Addie Bowman, the senior middle hitter, with a point.
And, of course, right when I say that, Addie Bowman wants to slam the door on that momentum change in a hurry, and she did just that. Slams it in front of the Scoopers, and whenever Spearfish needs a point to gain momentum or break momentum, look for them to serve to number 3.
Spartans get it across as Vito is the server. There's Reiners setting it up for Bowman. It's a nice block set up there by the Sturgis Scoopers. One of their strong points Able to tie it back up at 13.
And again, a solid block. Was that a solo block? Let's take a look on the replay. Yeah, DeShock and Vleem, two of the more experienced ball players for Sturgis, combining on the block of Bowman. And those two's combination is pretty deadly at the net. Good job by Vleem and DeShock to shut down Bowman.
And the serve receive is not there by Spearfish. This might be the first lead of the match for the Sturgis Scoopers as they take the advantage 14-13.
If it's not their first, it's tying their longest at being 1.
It's dug up here on the near side for Spearfish as they try to get their focus back. Sturgis Scoopers libero sets it up. They get it across in 3. Now Spearfish on their side. Here's Keller, gets it across. Here's the attack by Sturgis off the fingertips of one of the Spartans. That is Taylor Vitto. And a point for the Sturgis Scoopers. They take the advantage now 15-13.
Now I'm pretty sure this is their largest lead of the night at 2. And the Scoopers cross-court shot right at Vitto. She had a chance to make a play on it. Just saw the ball slip right through her fingers. Definitely should not have ate that popcorn pregame.
And now it'll be a serve by the Scoopers. Comes here to the near side of the net. Right at the net is Bowman. She gets it across, and the Spartans get the side out here.
It's almost like teams who are watching this for scouting reports need to be aware whenever Spearfish gets even a little bit down, they're going to set number 3 for a shot, as Bowman, after the back-to-back points from Sturgis, puts Spearfish back within 1.
Here's the Scoopers, go off the top of the net and then dies down on the Spearfish side. Got the lucky roll there in a bounce. Scoopers up by 2.
Olivia Vleem, she hasn't done a lot from the service line in her career, as we saw a good look at that on a replay from Briley Peterson using the net to her advantage.
Spearfish is going for the sweep in this match, but they're going to have to come back. That would be a good start as they get the point off of the hand of one of these Sturgis Scoopers.
And Addie Bowman continuing to add to her impressive night. Now she goes to serve for the Lady Spartans. 18 aces entering this contest.
And now Sturgis able to get it across in 3. Here is the kill attempt by Billington, and the sophomore outside hitter gets a point.
And you got to give credit to that one to Callie Reiner. She set that one across the entire width of the court, and it was set up perfectly for Billington, like it was just standing there.
Now over here to a 16-16 game. Reiner sets it up for Billington. A couple girls wanted to go for it for Sturgis. Neither one of them made up their mind. Point for Spearfish.
Sometimes an aggressive attack from Billington, or from any aggressive attacker, makes it hard for your defense for that communication as far as do you have it? Do I have it? And it's hard to make that decision within about a split second with the ball flying towards your face.
Sturgis Scoopers get it over. Now on the Spearfish side, and the Spartans get back-to-back points. They get the point there, outside hitter Billington.
And that will force a timeout by Coach Lewis. Spearfish retakes the lead by 2, 16-18. And I believe we got more volleyball coming up after this. It's the Scoopers and the Spartans coming up next here on KDSJ Sports.
See them everywhere. That's because Heinz-Erling Concrete of Spearfish is the most trusted name for everything from driveways, sidewalks, decorative stamp patios, and of course, foundation. Heinz-Erling Concrete is proud to support.
For 20 years, there's been a better alternative for car repair in Spearfish and the Northern Black Hills. It's Auto Doctor, with their 2 ASC certified mechanics who each have over 40 years of experience, and their state-of-the-art facility. They'll treat your vehicle like it's theirs.
And back here to the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth. Good crowd on hand here as the student section is alive and well for both of these teams. And a short trip rivalry matchup here on this Tuesday night in the Black Hills Conference. A couple of Class AA teams. They'll play again in October over in Spearfish. This is game number 16 on the season for Spearfish. The 14th match of the year for Sturgis. And this goes to the back row. Spearfish able to get it over. And then this one will be hit out of bounds. The libero for Spearfish, Faith Hoffman, almost had that one die inbounds. Would have been a great point.
Yeah, that was a great hustle by Bowman, tracking that one all the way to the steps. Keeps the ball in play. Spearfish, even though they didn't get the point, great hustle by the Spartans.
And the Spearfish Spartans were not able to receive this one. And the Scoopers now have it tied 18-18. Tylee Bestjen, the sophomore, back serving for Sturgis.
So now Spearfish giving Sturgis a few opportunities to stay in this contest.
And this one is hit at the net but blocked. Sturgis gets it over and Spearfish unable to return it. Back-to-back points here for the Scoopers. They take the advantage now 19-18.
As I think that was Briley Peterson on the cross-court shot. As Coach Lewis commends her for being the most consistent outside hitter for Sturgis this season.
And here is the Spartans. They get across. This one will be hit long, but I think it's touched by the Scoopers.
Yep. Touched right at the net. So Spearfish gaining a favor from the Scoopers on the block.
Scoopers have a few seniors. Two of them start. LeBeau and Larson. Allie Storm comes in off the bench as a good server. But they're a tight-knit team that we talked about in our Laying the Foundation segment. So you never want the inter-squad squabbles. And Spearfish up at the net, but it lands on their side. Point for Sturgis, going toe-to-toe with the Spartans. Now 20-19.
Scoopers showing a lot more fight this contest. Not that they didn't show much fight the first two, but they've been playing with more confidence, as even when Spearfish gives them a blow, they're able to take it and stay in the contest.
Here's Reiners. Reiners goes to Wheaton. That'll be a point for the Spearfish Spartans. Caitlin Wheaton, the senior, right side hitter.
I think that was Zanstra. Nope, it was Wheaton. You're right.
20-20.
I got to look at the replay from that, but Wheaton's having herself a very quiet but very good contest for Sturgis.
Billington hits this one into the net, so makes it 21-20 in favor of the Scoopers. We'll see if Sturgis can hold on and get the final 4 points to send this into set 4. Here is Keller. Keller will hit it over. I think because that was partially blocked at the net, the ball kind of went a different way than the Scoopers were thinking it was going to, and ended up going down on the floor.
Keller, we saw that a lot last season, able to switch up her shots as far as hitting it across the court. Works again there.
So here is Zanstra with the serve. Now she's backing up. She digs it. Reiners with the set. Bowman with the attack. Goes over to the Scooper side and a 21-all. Third set. Here's Reiners. Reiners to Bowman. Sturgis, good defensive play there. Now they go at the net. And keeping this one alive as we just kind of tap it back and forth on each side of the net. Here is the libero digging it up for Spearfish. The attack by Keller. It's dug up again by Spearfish.
What a block by Sturgis. Spearfish can't get it over at all.
Sturgis using their height. And this will be a point for the Spearfish Spartans. Very well played, both sides of the net there.
You got to give credit to the Sturgis block. Spearfish couldn't get over the wall at all. Tried tipping it over, tried hitting it over. Sturgis couldn't quite find anywhere, couldn't give Spearfish anywhere to find an open hole. Eventually it lands on Sturgis's side, Spearfish's side.
Zanstra with a fastball over the net on that serve. And then Spearfish unable to dig it up after a nice return by the Scoopers. So it's 22-22.
That cross-court shot from Olivia Vleem. It's hard to ignore her, as again she leads the team in kills. And much like Bowman is for Spearfish, whenever Sturgis needs a point, they'll set it to number 12.
So Kerrigan Milland comes in for Sturgis. First time we've seen her tonight. She serves it into the net. You got to win by 2. It's our race to 25. It's now 23-22. Spearfish with the advantage now as they have the serve option. And they go with Vito.
Vito, she's starting to carve out a role on the team as being a server for the Spartans.
Now here is the attack by Keller, kind of off balance there from this near side. Sturgis, full strength, they get it across. Partially blocked by Spearfish, goes out of bounds. Point, Scoopers.
It was a good block by Reiners. The only unfortunate part is she blocked it right into the net. Right into the antenna, which again, anytime the ball touches the antenna, it is automatically perceived out.
DeShock, a quiet night for her so far. She comes in to serve, the junior standout for the Scoopers. And now they try to get it closer to the net. Here's the attack that time by DeShock. Comes over here to the Spearfish side. There's the attack from the middle. And it's Bowman with a point.
Bowman, again, starting in the middle of this contest, is able to have a quick set to her, splits the block between Vleem and also Leah Long, and now it's set point, match point for the Spearfish, trying to make it 7 in a row versus the rival Scoopers.
As we look at this set, let's see, it was 10-7 Spearfish, then it was tied 12-12. Sturgis had the lead 14-13. Spearfish had the lead 17-16. Spearfish has the lead again now 24-23, but we've been just pretty much trading points here over the past 12 and 13 points here.
Yeah, pretty much. As Sturgis, again, showing more confidence with this set. They didn't let one minor mistake turn into a large run like we saw in the first and second sets. And they've been more consistent as far as being able to set up a block, making it hard for Spearfish to attack. They need to have one of their better performances at the net here with this next go, as Spearfish at set point and at match point with Faith Hoffman to serve.
Sturgis had 6 wins total last year. They've already hit the midway point of that here this year with 3. And this is going to the Spearfish side. At the net, Bowman. Back over to Sturgis. They're trying to set up on the outside. They do. Spearfish reads it defensively. Here's another attack, this time by Billington. It's dug up, but the Spartans able to get the point because it does not go over the net. And they win by 2.
Billington just shot it down right in front of the Sturgis Scoopers. DeShock had to go clear down to the ground to even try to get it. By the time she met the ground, the ball already made contact with the hardwood, and that put the game away. Spearfish makes it now 7 in a row versus the Sturgis Scoopers.
11th win of the season for the Spearfish Spartans as they get their 3rd win in a row, winning it in straight sets tonight. 25-19, 25-16, 25-23. We'll be back to talk about it in the El Sombrero postgame show. That's coming your way next right here on KDSJ Sports.
From mechanical repairs, brakes, alignments, tires, AC work, and more, Auto Doctor also provides advanced diagnostics. From Audis to Volkswagens, if your car is ill, we're the pill. Auto Doctor off Exit 14, Heritage Drive, Spearfish.
The Goldust Casino invites you to try the new menu items now being offered at Maverick Steak and Cocktails. Watch the action as you dine inside the Goldust Casino with tables overlooking the gaming floor. Enjoy over 210 of the newest slot machines and table games in Deadwood. And use your club card for great discounts at the 2 hotels right in the middle of the action. Get reservations today by calling 605-559-1400 or visiting goldustdeadwood.com.
Worried about your roof? Don't wait for a more expensive problem. LaPrade Roofing has been the trusted name for your home roofing for more than 30 years. Don't be afraid. Go to LaPradeRoofing.com. They're committed to protecting your home with superior work and materials. Plus, they'll be your local connection with the insurance company. Call LaPrade Roofing in Spearfish for a free no-obligation estimate at 641-1770 or visit LaPradeRoofing.com. LaPrade Roofing. Satisfaction every shingle time.
Hi, my name is Kelsey. Thanks for choosing LaPrade Roofing.
No matter what life throws in your direction, Dana Dental Arts and Spearfish reminds you to make you and your family's dental health a top priority. Putting off small problems now can lead to big ones later. We are small enough to feel like family, but big enough to bring you the latest technology. Before your lives get too hectic with school, sports, and other extracurricular activities, schedule a comprehensive exam now. We love our patients. Celebrating 50 years of dentistry in Spearfish.
Let our family care for your family.
Find your ride and drive for less in a one-owner Junix certified pre-owned vehicle. Inspected by Junix technicians and protected by a 6-month limited powertrain warranty. Drive home a 2020 Chevy Traverse Premier as low as $25,895. A 2023 Ford Escape ST as low as $23,995. Or a 2023 Nissan Rogue as low as $21,495. Visit Junix.com to see what's available.
Then and welcome back here to the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth here at the Sturgis Brown High School West Gym, as the Sturgis Scoopers hosting the Spearfish Spartans tonight in a Class AA Black Hills Conference matchup in our game of the week on the volleyball court. And the Spearfish Spartans win it in straight sets, 3 games to none, 25-19, 25-16, 25-23, as the Spartans get their 11th win in the season and still remain atop of the Black Hills Conference as they go to 4-0 in conference play. The Sturgis Scoopers dropped to 3-10 and 3-3 in the BHC. Spearfish started things off here in the match with a first set where they were up 4-0. Then they were up 9-8 as Sturgis made it interesting there. Then it was 19-15 Spearfish. They went up 23-18 and they win it 25-19 there in set number 1. Clayson Davis, looking back and remembering what happened in that first set, your thoughts there?
The first set, Spearfish really just jumped out on top, and they made it really hard for Sturgis to get anything going offensively, as I made it hard for them to pass the ball, made it trying to dig up their serves much of a chore the entire night. And Spearfish, they had their own kinks, having to work out a new rotation, but eventually you're going to set it to some of your big hitters with Addie Bowman playing the middle. She was lights out tonight, as always. Billington was also really good at getting her first start of the season, and it was just overall Spearfish was the aggressor first here in this contest versus Sturgis. That's how they had a pretty dominant first set.
Then we go to the second set. Spearfish was up 16-12, then they were up 18-12, and they would kind of cruise to the finish line, winning at 25-16, the biggest differential of all 3 sets tonight, winning that one by 9.
Yeah, right now in the second set, it was from the service line that Spearfish made most of their damage, and great serving from, you had Tabby Zanstra serving very well. You had Addie Bowman, Callie Reiners. Everyone really served very well for the Spearfish Spartans. And we go to the third set, 25-23, and that was close really the entire contest, as Spearfish, Sturgis going back and forth from one another. Sturgis, they were more confident that set from the looks of it, as they were able to set up their offense. They made it harder for Spearfish to try to find their shots, but Spearfish still was able to adapt and take on the storm. It was pretty much the set of rallies, as there were multiple long rallies that set as well. In the end, though, Spearfish and their heavy hitting able to break through the Sturgis block and get the win. As I'm now joined by head coach of the Spearfish Lady Spartans, as Coach Shelby Richards joins us in the broadcast booth. Coach, impressive win tonight.
Yeah, it was a good win, for sure.
How does it feel to go on the road, a really short road trip over here to Sturgis, and beat your rival for now this 7th straight time?
It's always fun. We talk about the team. Sturgis always plays well against us, always. So we reflected on some of the games we've had in the past, and they've gone into 5 or kind of an ugly 4 set, and that third set was exactly they come out and play. So it's always a nice win. We turn around and see them again in 2 weeks, so that's a little bit different seeing a team so close together. But overall, I'm really satisfied with how we played tonight.
Your new lineup looked pretty impressive, a well-oiled machine tonight. I know you probably find a few things you can nitpick here and there, but overall, the first time we've seen Addie Keller in the varsity season, she looked like how she did last year when she started all your games, and also Billington also stepped up in a big way. How do you judge the performance of your ball club players that haven't had very many starting opportunities yet this season?
They stepped in and they did exactly what we asked them to do, and that's what we've been kind of front-loading since the beginning of season of like, hey, we're starting in this lineup, but you never know what's going to happen. And unfortunately, we had 3 things go down in once. But, you know, Addie Bowman, we can put her anywhere. As you can see, she's a threat wherever we're at. But honestly, what I have to give kudos to is Tabby Zanstra and Kate Wheaton. They have not served received at all this season, or ever, actually. So having Addie in that middle position, we have to pull someone back to pass, and I thought they did a great job at just stepping in there with confidence, and that's why we make everybody passers in the gym, because you never know when you're going to have to do it. So I have to give a big shout-out to those 2.
Of course, we hear a lot of Addie Bowman. Callie Reiners has been Miss Reliable in terms of setting. She got herself a kill today as well. And the first time we've really got to see her let loose and swing out a ball. I related it back to it's like an offensive lineman getting the ball in football. It doesn't happen very often, but anytime your setter gets the attack, they try to make the most of it.
Absolutely, yes, yes.
Someone else I wanted to highlight that I felt like had a pretty good contest and also has been solid for you guys. You mentioned her earlier, but Tabby Zanstra, one of your rotating middle hitters with Sadowski. Sadowski's been out for the past few contests, hoping to have her back next week. But how has Zanstra stepped up her game with the injuries that have been on your team?
You know, massive. She's always been a great blocker for us, and that came a little late, but tonight our block was on. They were doing exactly what we needed to do. Our game plan was perfect. They were closing the block, but then tonight she really came alive hitting. We've been working on that a lot, just keeping her behind the ball and reaching high, and you could definitely see her working at the changes that we've been asking her to do, and I think that is just going to keep progressing throughout the season. And especially when it comes of the block of Sturgis, you had both of Lean girls at 6'2", Danica DeShock and also Leah Long. Also, they've been consistently good at blocking and controlling the net throughout the season, and you guys really didn't make it much of an issue. How are you guys able to use the block to your advantage and also hit around it tonight? We ran a really fast tempo offense tonight when we were in system. You saw true 31 out of Addie Bowman that she just let loose on, and then that keeps that middle guessing when we have an outside and a middle. But those guys are tall. We talked about it. It was like, they're going to slow that ball down. They're going to be in your face. You got to stay behind so you can see them, work around them. But overall, I was very impressed by our hitters going around it for sure.
And finally, Coach, you're back at home on Thursday. You host the Custer Wildcats, who Sturgis actually beat this season as well, another Black Hills Conference matchup. What are you looking forward to going up against the Custer Wildcats here in a few days?
You know, same old, same old. We've really got to focus on that mental game. Again, that third set is our killer right now, and we're not sure why. So just making sure that we win every ball. I felt like tonight we still had a leg in there that we've got to keep pushing. No matter what the score is, we have to go out and earn that ball like it's the 25th point. We just have to keep that urgency and not settle for anything, because that's when wonky things can happen. But I'm excited for Thursday. We have our Go Gold night, so we'll be raffling off a blanket and doing our chicken noodle soup stuff. So if people are out and about, stop on by and help us raise some money for childhood cancer awareness.
That's awesome. Coach, great win tonight. Looking forward to talking to you tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you.
Next week, that is. As that is head coach of the Spearfish Lady Spartans, Coach Shelby Richards, joining us with our pregame show. We'll continue with our postgame show, brought to you by El Sombrero in Spearfish. We'll name a superior performer up next. Also look at our Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard and talk about what's next for KDSJ Sports as Spearfish sweeps Sturgis 3-0.
Behind all of their work with a lifetime guarantee. Jake's Collision Repair uses only original parts made by your vehicle's manufacturer instead of lower quality aftermarket parts. Certified technicians work with the latest state-of-the-art equipment, and Jake's Collision Repair is preferred by most insurance companies and works with all of them. Jake's Collision Repair, 2416 Junction Avenue in Sturgis and 4415 East Colorado Boulevard in Spearfish.
Monument Health Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is here when you need us for the extreme athletes or those everyday activities. From kiddos with broken bones to retirees with creaky knees. Whether you're pumping iron or planting petunias, we'll be in our clinic locations throughout the region working together. Monument Health Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, getting you moving again so you can confidently say, I'm back. Go to monument.health/orthopedics to find out more.
You see them everywhere. That's because Heinzerling Concrete of Spearfish is the most trusted name for everything from driveways, sidewalks, decorative stamp patios, and of course, foundations. Heinzerling Concrete is proud to support the activities that help our area youth build their foundation for future success. Whatever the job, Heinzerling Concrete is the name you can trust. Google Heinzerling Concrete in Spearfish or call 210-2320.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, you, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
I'm Cody Oliver back here at the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth tonight, where we saw the Spearfish Spartans pick up their third straight win as they get a victory over the Sturgis Scoopers tonight, 3-0, 25-19, 25-16, and then the best set of them all was in that third set. Sturgis fought with the Scoopers point for point, but it ended up being a 2-point differential. Spartans win at 25-23 tonight as Sturgis drops to 3-10 on the season. Spearfish improves to 11-5. Thanks once again to Shelby Budmeyer Richards for joining us in the post-game show and catching up with her and hearing from her thoughts. Talking to a coach, you always get some background information that we can't see or we don't even know about from way up here.
Yeah, especially with Coach Richards, as she doesn't always give you coach speak. She actually tells you not necessarily what you want to hear, but what actually she thinks and what's going on, which is one thing I do appreciate about talking to Coach Richards each game and each week as well with our Jake's Collision Repair countdown to first serves. And again, you could tell that she was happy with the win, but there's still some more things to work on for sure. And again, having multitude of injuries on your team, it's hard to find a lineup and stick with it and fine tweak it, especially having to fill in spots. And then eventually there's been so many injuries that she said, screw it, we're going to have a whole new lineup, and she debuted it tonight.
But also you start to build up some depth with this squad for the Spearfish Spartans, so that's going to come in mighty handy in about a month.
It'll come in really handy in about a year too when Spearfish loses 10 seniors from this year's team.
And our coverage of tonight's broadcast being brought to you by Wolf's Plumbing and Heating in Spearfish. Call 605-642-5755 or see more at wolfph.com. It's time now to name our player of the game. It is our Superior Performance, also being brought to you by Superior Auto Solutions. And you can give them a call at 605-642-9111 or check out their inventory online, superioroutosd.com. And Clayson Davis has more details on tonight's Superior Performer.
And after tallying up all the votes, we're going to give it to the sophomore outside hitter for Spearfish, Julia Billington, as, again, starting for the first time this season is Billington, able to really make a difference on the outside of being one of those two outside hitters for Spearfish in a position that they've had a lot of turmoil in throughout the season, and Billington made it her own. She's played a lot for the Spartans, rotating in and out, also played defense very well, used the block of Sturgis, and either weren't able to made it so Sturgis couldn't use their block very effectively versus Spearfish. Either that or she hit through it altogether. But either way, Billington, an outstanding sophomore in Spearfish, losing 10 seniors after this season. She is going to be probably the main one to look at here in the next few years.
And the 5'11" outside hitter, one of the tallest girls on the team, and coming up with the win tonight for the Spartans as she is our Superior Performer, brought to you by Superior Auto Solutions. And you can see their inventory online at superioroutosd.com. Coming up next, we'll have a look at our Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. Another busy Tuesday night around the volleyball scene. We'll have a look at the scoreboard next.
Whatever the weather, Wolf's Plumbing and Heating keeps you in the comfort zone with expert heating and air conditioning repair or replacement from American Standard Mitsubishi. For over 70 years, Wolf's Plumbing and Heating has delivered quality service